Big Dog. Big Dog for the young boy.
Big Talk. Episode what?
9.
Episode 9.
Is
we
it 9?
back. Episode 9,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was just testing you. You know,
Okay.
you know how we getting down. Big Talk, how you feeling?
Apologize. I feel good. I feel energized. I had coffee
Energized?
before this. Yeah.
That's lit. Coffee.
Couple hours before.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm pretty cooked, but I feel really good nonetheless. Like, I'm ready to go. I could stay up till
You ready to go? Like
7 days.
to go
now.
home and sleep? Or
I'm down for that too. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, but like I feel good. Today was an amazing day. How's your day? What were you up to?
it was good. I was at the studio most of the time.
Put in that work?
Yeah. I was there since like 11 o'clock till like about 6:30. Then I came home, did some little cooking on the stove. Then I did
What you mean?
You putting me on the spot, man. I'm out here doing roasted potatoes. Wait, roasted potatoes. I'm out here doing roasted potatoes with pechuga. It's just simple stuff.
I like that, man.
But I enjoy it.
I normally don't eat stuff like that. I be walling out when I be making spaghetti. I be making
Spaghetti.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. A lot of my diet is pasta, and I make a lot of rice. I like carbs. Even bread. I've been eating more bread now. I usually don't be eating bread that much, but
Yeah.
I bought some like a baguette. Made some garlic bread the other night. I bought some pita bread. I bought some like naan bread. I'm fucking with bread these days, baby.
Damn.
Because we getting that bread, you heard?
That's crazy. I remember for a time you stopped eating bread.
For a while,
You wasn't messing with it?
I was trying to figure out what's going on with my acne.
You
That's
think it
what
was the bread or
I didn't at that time I didn't know. But what I was doing was I was figuring out what in my diet may be giving me acne and shit. And I figured out that it was none of that. It was dairy. But the thing is that I will have bacon, egg, and cheeses every day,
Yeah.
at least once a day. And then I'll have like a sandwich, like a cold cut sandwich. It'll be ham and cheese or something like that, turkey and cheese or a cheeseburger or something like that.
That was in high school?
Nah, that was when I had really
after,
bad acne. So I was like
You was,
like
you was in college.
2014.
I think he was in college on that time.
I don't know what I was. I
know you
was
was
working.
working, yeah.
I was working like crazy. But that was 2014. 2014ish, 2015. That was like I think the worst of it was 2015. And I was just trying to figure out. So I was like, all right, let me try bread. As I took off bread, it started to get a little bit better. But I noticed that it wasn't necessarily bread. It was the dairy. It was just that the dairy. Anytime I had dairy was through like being part of the bread, like through a sandwich or something like
I
that.
get you. Yeah.
So that's how I figured it out. Yeah, man. Like I'm really into like same way as you. Like I'm really into like natural ways of healing yourself. And like, I was also going to like dermatologists and shit like that, and trying to see if they could figure it out. But dermatologists, like no offense to any dermatologists out there, but at the end of the day, they're there to keep treating you. That's how they make money. They treat you. So they'll give me like I think it was cortisone shots or some type of steroid shots on like on my acne to like make it chill a little more. But that shit, it really didn't do. Didn't do much.
Yeah, sometimes it's more than just just that. You gotta get it from the root, and it's like a lot of times it's a diet.
Cutting it off from the roof. From the roof. Cutting
Yeah.
it off from the roof. Not for a fact. That's why I was like, you know what? Like I said, I'm really into like natural and knowing that your body can heal itself, but you have to actually go about figuring out how to do that. So
Yeah.
And for me, it was like figuring out that dairy just didn't sit well with my body. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's body process things different. And for me, it's like dairy.
Yeah,
Dairy
I think that's
was
really important
rough.
to like realize what it is that is like causing you to wake up the next day that you don't feel like 100% yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes we could, for example, like if you get out of work, sometimes you go out drinking. You might think it was the alcohol. Maybe it was something else you had within, alongside with the drinking you had as well. But it's like you never get to realize like what was the cause of that, because you just attribute everything to a hangover. You just hung over the next day. But what if it was something else more than just that?
I hear you. I could hear that.
What if you had like a bunch of cheeseburgers the night before?
after having your drinks and shit, having cheeseburgers. For me, like we could talk about alcohol a little bit. Like yo, bro, I don't know, man. Day by day, I realize like yo, alcohol is not for me. Like in general, like
just give it to me. Just give me all of it. Nah, I'm playing.
Nah, for me, it just doesn't like. Don't get me wrong. Like, I have a drink or two, but like anything after that, like back. So going back to my acne days, I was also drinking a lot.
Mm,
Like,
okay, yeah.
because in the job that I had, I'm not even gonna mention the job that I had, but we would drink on the job, we'll drink after the job, and the next day will be a very rough day because
Dang.
sometimes going into work with a hangover and it's like not even knowing like how I survived and shit like that. It was
Jeez.
definitely it was just a dark period. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just
Nah, nah, we've been there. We all
a
been
rougher
there.
time and shit. But definitely like it was a time where I was forced in order to like fix my health. I was forced to fix my health because the decisions that I was making at that point was just like you could tell just by looking at me that those choices that I was making wasn't resonating with how I'm supposed to live. And I feel like now
Yeah,
like life is definitely took a turn for the better with the healthy decisions that we make and shit throughout the years and stuff.
that's true.
This podcast is sounding mad wild. What's it called? Wow. What's the word for
Well,
that?
healthy.
Wild healthy right now. But fuck it, we gotta be healthy sometimes. Like
Got to. But nah, talking about that, yo, remember I actually we were talking about that before about I was telling you about getting some property, getting a home. Like let's say if you have a backyard and stuff, it's dope to like grow your own vegetables. Because a
I wanna
lot
do
of
that.
times we're not getting, like how
Yeah,
much
yeah.
nutrients are we getting from the vegetables and the stuff that we're eating, the produce that we're eating.
That's a fact though. That's a
You
big
know?
fact. I agree with that. Like I would love to if not 100% self sustainable, I would like to sustain myself with the land that I have. That'd be super dope. And it would just also it's a different type of love. You're actually taking charge of what you eat from the beginning. Like like instead of
Yeah.
just buying it and then cooking it, taking charge in the cooking process, taking charge from the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing.
Yo, sorry to cut you off, but I don't want to forget, but just in case I do forget, but I was actually watching some videos. I think I probably watched like two videos talking about how when you mentioned land, this came into mind. So these videos were talking about how like a bunch of land is being bought up by companies, like large companies, really big companies. Were you aware of that?
Nah, but I heard of somebody specifically buying up mad land.
Bro, like companies are
Yeah.
buying a bunch of land. There was like a spot where I don't know what state it was, but like, and I don't know what company it was. That company bought 90% of that like location there, like the area.
Mm.
Company bought 90% of that land.
Why do you think that is?
Homes. They owning the homes. So now it's like
Mm.
you're gonna rent from me. So now it's like it makes it more difficult for actual people for people like me and you to be tenants to own that property because it's gonna be more difficult because now a lot of the houses are being bought up by those corporations.
That's where that's in New York or
It's
it's
happening everywhere.
different.
It's happening
Oh,
everywhere in the whole state, and it's actually worldwide too. They're going
mm.
to other countries too, and from other countries they're buying over here too. And it's kind of like
I've heard
interesting
about that
how
too.
yeah where it's going with that with
You worried about that?
not necessarily worried, but it's like it's something to like pay attention for because it's like that's just like we were talking about having a garden in your backyard, but you might not even own your own
That's
land.
fucking
So
crazy.
it's
That's
like
nuts.
where are we going with that? You get what I'm saying? Like what opportunities are being cut off from that?
That's wild. Just to
It's not
think
just
about.
about one person. It's like it's families that's gonna be hurt with this. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like you be watching these stuff like that video I was telling you about the corporations and shit. That's crazy. It's really is really going towards that like you will own nothing type shit.
What I heard about like how you mentioned like ownership and like how people are owning less and less things. I heard. I think I told you this in the past. I'm not sure if you remember, but I heard that in the future they don't want people to own their cars. They want
Yeah,
they just want like
autonomous driving cars and stuff.
autonomous driving cars and like shared cars and stuff like that,
Hmm.
which I feel like is I don't support it. I feel like it's
Yeah,
weird because I do believe in ownership. I do believe I mean at the end of the day I look at the way I look at things like you're here and then you're gone, so you don't necessarily own anything. Like
true. Yeah,
nothing is yours to begin with. Like
yeah,
everything is like everything flows. Like whatever it may be, what you eat is everything is part of a process. That's how I look at it. So we don't necessarily own anything. But when it comes to like also for example, phones, like you know how now you can lease a phone and shit like that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
that
don't
been.
do that.
Yeah, me either.
I
I don't
don't.
like that.
I rather not. Like if I get something, I don't want like there to be like a little writing on the bottom that says like, oh, you gotta give the phone back or
Yeah,
something. Like nah, I want to buy something. I want to own it. Or if I make something, I own it. I don't want to have to like to for anything like through what's it called like through I is the word semantics. I don't know. I don't know if it's a
you
word
just like peace of mind.
type shit. But also like just because like you were talking about like let's say where do you draw the line? Like if I bought my own seed and I planted it, you know what I'm saying on the land that I live on. It may not be the land that I own, I guess, but
Yeah,
like the land that I live on, I did that. I want that to be mine, but you own that? Nah,
yeah,
that doesn't make sense. But guess what? It is your land. So ownership is important. That's
yeah,
why they're doing that because they want to own whatever's on that land. You know.
bro. And it's happening. Like what we've been talking about. Like it's happening on the stock market. It's happening on the on this side on the real estate. It's just happening like a lot of different places at the same time. Because for example, like some of the YouTubers that I watch, some of them they're like tech guys. So they fix computers, they fix phones and stuff like that. And some of them fix cars, machinery, farming machinery and stuff. And a big issue that they're facing right now is the right to repair. This huge, this big
Oh,
things happening with that, bro. Like,
Rich Rebuilds. You watch his stuff. He kind of
that's
goes
the
to
car
something.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he
yeah.
built. He was building
He talked about
the
that.
Tesla. That's
Mm.
it's not as is a gas Tesla. It's just the body
Oh
of the
yeah,
Tesla, but then there's like a different
I
car
haven't seen
inside.
that one, but he talks about that.
Bro, I think they tried to. I don't want to like say something that is not true, but I'm just gonna give you the gist of it. Like I think they like they don't help. They didn't help him with like certain parts. Like he wants to buy something that's like something simple,
Yeah.
and he who asked to buy the part, and they're like, oh nah, your car has been is total. Like there's no fixing it. Like
Wow. Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
fix it because this is our product, and if anybody's gonna fix it, it's us, and we're not gonna fix it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is it's kind of wild. So
That's how.
but yeah,
Yeah.
you keep on
That's
you
basically it.
yeah.
Like the guy that I will be watching on YouTube, Louis Rossman.
Oh yeah.
The guy he's always like talking about that. Like he's been a court about cases like to testify for cases like that because he knows the importance of like if for example companies like Apple and other huge companies, those products like they're really good products, but it's like sometimes if they break, you can't get it fixed unless you go back to them. And it's like as the years go along, they're making it more and more difficult for people like us, the working class, to own shops to fix these devices because they're not, they don't allow them to fix them. For example, like parts will not work with each other. Like for it, like say in a laptop, if you swap a keyboard, it knows that you swapped the keyboard. It knows it's original keyboard. How you said like, oh, you this is not like you bought this part from us. You shouldn't be fixing it, and you can't fix it. Even if you change parts, then the device doesn't work because it knows that you changed the parts. That's just like it's crazy because it's like it goes back to all of that. Like you will not own anything, and on top of that, like imagine all the jobs it cuts off. Like all the people that like mom and pop stores that do little fixes down the block or whatever, computer stores, cell phone stores, like cuts all these jobs out. It's like shit. It's crazy.
So I feel like there's two sides to that coin that people should understand. So obviously, people are gonna want to make all the money that they can. These companies, people want to make as much money as they can. They want to cut their costs, and they don't want. They want to cut off the middleman, or they want to cut off the person
Yeah.
making money that they could make. Which makes sense as a company and as a business. But I feel like there should also be a line that should be drawn that is like where it's OD. Like for example, like how like the Amazon and the whole thing where like you only get like a 15-minute break, something like that, 15-minute
Yeah, I
break,
heard, yeah.
and then you gotta walk all the way across
The floor.
the warehouse to get to your break. But then by the time you get there, your break is over. So it's like it messes with people. But like all that type of stuff, like it makes sense for productivity. You want to have the most productive, the most
Profitable business.
profitable business, exactly.
Yeah.
But there's also a like a limit that should be set because at certain point it's almost like you're taking advantage of people, and you're also limiting opportunities for people to make it on their own. Like this country was built off people
Yeah.
my bad, of people, how we mentioned yesterday, getting it out the mud. You know what I mean? Some people that came here, what's it called? Immigrants that come here and they find their niche and they make it big, and then
Yeah.
generations down the line, their grandchildren are in way
Yeah.
better positions
Because of
it's
what they did, you know, the initial steps they took when they came
But
over.
now
so.
it's almost like I feel like part of it is also like there's less innovation, like whether that be planned
Yeah.
and you get what I'm saying. Like there's less innovation and in making products better and things like that. But instead, it's like, oh, let's cut off these little things. And also, like, I'm not sure if you heard of this thing called planned obsolescence. So it's a thing
I
that
think I heard it mentioned before.
it's a thing I've heard about where it's like the things that they make it to last a specific amount of time.
Ah.
Not like so well built that
Yeah,
it
of
shows
course.
stand the
Yeah,
test
yeah,
of
yeah.
time.
I know.
But they'll make it good enough to last a certain amount of time. But after that, it's like, all right, you gotta buy another one
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
of
gonna
course,
break or
yeah.
something's gonna stop working and stuff like that.
phone batteries.
And that's something
stuff.
that's something that I started realizing. I had a pair of Beats and my shits were fucked up. Like the all the what's it called? What's this called right here? Like
The earmuffs.
yeah, like the earmuffs, all of the fabric on it just fell off and it'll get on my ears,
Oh,
it'll
I get you,
get all
yeah.
over, and it was like it was completely naked. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to get a new headphone or whatever. But then I'm like, wait, I don't have to. I could check to see if they have
Oh,
earmuffs that I
yeah.
could replace. I looked that up and I saved myself $200-$300. I probably wasn't gonna get another Beats because I got those as a gift.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like it was just the thought of it. I'm like, all right, so let me replace it. I replace it. And I'm like, yo, these Beats work like new, like they're brand new again.
Wow,
You know
that's
what I mean?
crazy.
So it's also like, imagine I didn't have that opportunity. It's giving more
Yeah.
money to these.
It's
you
getting
know.
more. It's getting more like that. But it's like, you know, like you said, like on the flip side of it, you know, there are companies that are still they're going on the side of like making like items or like just making products that is like you could really personalize and like, you know, just open for like people like creatives to give their input and make the product better. Like, you know, I seen companies like I saw a company, I think it was what's the name of the website where they're like a company starting up and they want like trying to raise like the fund.
There's one called Indiegogo.
That one, yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen ads for like a company that was trying to like build a new form of bike, like a new bicycle. I don't know what it was about it, but I don't know if it was like electric, but it was really good, like, and it looked great. And I think it was like basically if you make a deposit or if you hit them up or whatever, they'll take your input to try to make the bike better. And you know, that just goes to like companies are looking the other way besides, you know, trying to take like all of that for them.
I love seeing that, man.
But then, you know, going back to what I was saying, farmers is another, you know, is a big industry that's being hit with that. Like, it's the same thing. Like, these tractors are huge. Like, the new tractors, you know, they great. They have GPS and they have great computers. But it's like when that computer breaks, you have to take that tractor to that company's dealership to get that fixed. And I've seen videos like on TikTok and everywhere, like farmers complaining because it's like, you know, the right to repair issue. Like, you know, if you don't get a mechanic from that company to come and fix your tractor, or if you can't get it over there, like, you're asked out. Like, that tractor is just sitting there and you can't get work done. And it's because of that, because they don't allow, you know, anyone else to like work on those items. And they've been trying to go to court with that. You know, there's a lot of cases on that.
I really love when companies take a different approach to just business in general and like show love to their employees and stuff like that, because that inspires their employees to do better.
Yeah, of course.
Incentives and stuff like that. That's all great. Those are great things. You know what I mean?
I feel like, you know, at least like before the pandemic and everything hit, I feel like companies were going in that direction. Like, they were a lot of them were understanding, like, it's like if you treat your employees like shit, that's gonna be a representation of what's going on inside the company. And that's what's gonna happen with basically, like, you know, are you in it for the long run, or are you just trying to get some quick cash from your customers? And it's like, if you want legacy and all of that, you really gotta, you know, treat your employees right, so they, and, you know, give them like the right compensation so they could treat, you know, and provide the best service they possibly can to customers.
It's a fact, though. But yeah, guys, if y'all ain't noticed, we took our little break right now because the 30 minutes were over. But if y'all ain't noticed, I could probably tell by my face right here, your boy's cooked. I'm tired. I'll tell you about my day just to tell you why I'm tired, bro. So I had a nice and it was today was fire. Today was an amazing day. I feel great overall.
Time you woke up,
I woke up like at 11:30.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, but I could wake up earlier for sure. I'm aiming to wake up earlier, but that's a process. The
Yeah,
vibe.
you're working on it.
You can't just like, jump into it like that. I mean, you can, but that'd be rough too. But yeah, nah. Today was a great day. Chill with my boy Jonathan. Shout out to Jonathan, man. That's my boy. It was great. It was great to see him. It was the first time I seen him since last year.
Wow.
But it was awesome. Like, it was what it needed to be. Like, that's my boy. Like, we had a great time. We walked through the park. We shot something for the song that he just dropped featuring me. We shot that,
Fire.
and then we took some more photos on the way to get some food. Hooked me up with some tacos. We were chilling. We walked back. This was all like a good 30 blocks, something like that. We walked for a while, 30 blocks each way. So it was about 60,
Wow.
60 blocks. So it was a good walk, and the walk was really nothing. Like, the walk was light. After that, ended up coming back to my crib, changing real quick, came to play ball.
Wow.
But we played mad ball. That's the thing. Like, we play a bunch of games, and I was ready to play more, but like, also I didn't want to OD because I also know that I'm probably gonna be cooked afterwards and
Yeah.
shit. But I'm as you can see right now, I'm cooked. I came in my little basketball uniform and shit. But nah, it was a great day, and I was feeling like upon getting home, like, I went home for like a little bit at 8, and I came right back here.
Yeah.
And I felt great, like, on my way here. I felt great and all that. But yo, once I sat down on this couch, this couch feel, y'all don't know, but if y'all ever get the chance to sit on this couch, this thing is comfortable, man. Yo, it was actually so when we was about to start the podcast, I was laid out. I had the mic all the way down here, and my head was laying back, and that shit felt so good because, like, I was resting my neck. I have a lot of tension in my neck right now, so that felt mad
He's
good.
trying to have a sleeping podcast.
Yo, maybe
Laying
one
down
day.
podcast.
I think one day y'all might catch me laying down on this side right here.
Pretty sure somebody got a sleeping podcast where they're probably like laying on the bed, like on the side of the bed, and just talking or just mumbling to something.
ASMR type
like,
shit.
Yeah,
Helping people to
this
fall
man,
asleep.
this is a niche for everything. Out
Yo,
there,
nah,
man.
ASMR is fucking huge.
I've seen some weird. I've seen some on Twitter of like people eating lobsters and shit like that, fried
yeah,
chicken.
yeah, they do stuff like that. Yeah,
Eating octopus.
yeah.
Like I don't know.
It's a very interesting niche because, like, who in let's say the year 2000, who would have thunk that people are making mad bread off of chewing on camera and just having their voice super amplified and shit.
Bro, remember a little kid that he makes like millions of dollars a year
Doing
off
what?
of YouTube, opening and playing
opening
with
presents.
toys.
Yeah, playing with toys.
Yeah,
There's
like,
another one like opening
like
presents.
little toy reviews. That's crazy, bro. Who would have thought? Like,
For real, man.
goes back
so many ways.
to what we were talking about, like, circumstances, like, as long as you like continue on that path and stuff,
Yeah.
circumstances would, like, you'll be put in places where, like, certain things that you're learning, traits or whatever, they'll be beneficial in the long run. And it's like, but things haven't caught up to that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that technology is not there yet.
Yo, something that I was watching earlier. I think I mentioned to you earlier off camera, but yo, there's this good video I've been watching, and they hit it to the T of like how I've been feeling recently. Where it's just like, yo, you focus on yourself and you find that peace in yourself, and you're able to align and be centered with yourself. And then from there is like everything else aligns. Like, it's something that I'm sure everybody knows, a lot of people know, but like everything just starts aligning and you start really manifesting those situations that need to happen around you for you to continue on to prosper in what you do. And I was like, like, just listening to it, I was just like, wow, like this is awesome to hear somebody else. Cause like sometimes, we think of these things, but like we may not write them down, and then, we don't know if anybody else feels the same way about it. So it was dope to hear somebody that was intelligent and into that type of stuff, that they were saying like, yo, things fall into place. And it's like, you're not forcing, you're not trying to get anything to happen. It's more like you're focused on yourself and you're focused on being the best version of yourself and putting that vibe forward.
Yeah.
And things just seem to flow from there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It was cool to listen to.
Nah, that's fire. I mean, goes into that, like, how they say that there's infinite versions of you and universes. So, like, if you think about it, like, you working towards becoming that better version of yourself, or anything for that matter, whether it's a relationship or a hobby or something that you want to take serious, it's all a matter of how much time you put into that. Whether it's like, building that relationship or But it's like you said, it's like being in flow with that, and it's but it's on this, yeah. So that's where I was going. It's like understanding that there's multiple, like there's infinite versions of you. So it's like as long as you continue to hit that infinite version of yourself that is making the right decision, whether it might be health, it might be relationship wise, it might be at work or whatever, like giving it your best. As long as you continue to be that person and that image, you'll be in flow and you'll be fine and you're gonna reach that destination. But it's like it's the same thing if it goes backwards. As long as you continue to make those errors, continue to dig yourself into a, not dig a hole, but necessarily like go back into that version of yourself that's also, whether it might be fitness, like out of shape, or a fear of poverty, like a bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah, it was great. Like I was talking to Jonathan earlier today, and it's been something that I've been feeling a lot as a recent. I've been feeling so grateful of the opportunity that I've been given,
Yeah.
because now more than ever in my life, I see things. I could see things happening more and more, very often,
Yeah.
that align with me and that align with my goals and all that. Like, because there was a time where it didn't feel like that,
Yeah.
but I'm sure I was just gaining the tools that I needed to get to where I am now. Getting that knowledge that'll help me to be better when I finally have
Yeah, of
this
course. Yeah.
opportunity. And what I feel like this opportunity is right now is an opportunity to really hone in on what it is that I was put here to do. That's how I like to look at it. Like my purpose. That's how I
Yeah.
like to put it. My purpose of being here and really fulfill that. And I feel like through all the trials that we go through in our whole life, it brought me here. And now I'm starting to really see the power that I've always had,
Yeah. Yeah.
the strength and just like being as humans, we're so powerful, and we don't even how would I say, like we don't
We
even we don't
we
even know the
yeah,
magnitude of
we don't
how
we
powerful.
don't know it, but it's like it's not even like it's not our fault. Like get what I'm saying? Like we've been
You know what it is too? We know it. We know all of
that
it.
too. Yeah.
We know all
Yeah.
of it. We just remember it, and by remember it is like putting it together through the life that we live, and the
Mm.
and how would I say, just like through those tests that come, it just gives you a certain type of capacity to be able to handle
Yeah.
more, and
Too.
to
Like
be able
yeah.
to tap into these parts of you that may have not been tapped in for a while, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like it's all in
Taking
us,
those challenges and stuff. Yeah.
in our DNA and who we are. Like this is really who we are. But like through the years, things happen where it's like, and through the years and through generations, like because at the end of the day, generations, they all form who everybody is collectively.
Yeah.
Because if people in the past had to interact with each other, that interaction forms the people, and we've gotten to where we are now through those interactions. But now it's like, also I feel like a lot of people are noticing, like, we get to choose how we interact and how we react to things, and that really forms us especially if you're going in with the intention of being a better version of yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
say? You go into with that intention, then you really start to dig deeper into who you really are and who we really are, essentially. Because I feel
Yeah.
like we're like, to the core, we're all the same. We all have that same power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
same thing. Yeah, we getting real.
That's that big, big, big,
We
big.
getting real big right now, real big dog right now. But yeah, man, that's how I've been feeling these days. I feel like I've been really tapping in, and not even like, I feel like some people may even want to keep it to themselves, like this what I'm talking about, or even like
Yeah.
maybe even be ashamed, because like, damn, like I feel this way, and I don't know how many other people feel this, but I feel like for me putting it out there and letting people know, it might help them to like realize maybe what's going on in their life, and attribute some of what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you know what? I've been feeling the same way, and I don't know. Didn't really know what it is, but now they can actually put something to it, because I feel like for me, I always knew that there was more to this. You know what I mean? I'm starting to realize more and more that, oh shit, like it's all within us. You know what I
It's
mean?
crazy, man.
But yeah, it's
It's
lit.
fire, man. That's big, big, big right there.
Big dope,
On there, right there.
big dope.
I wish I could, chime in on that, but you kind of like.
But you feel it
chime in.
though,
Yeah.
right? Like you it resonates with you. You feel like?
Nah, of course, yeah. But like you said, like it does take time for you to get to that spot where like you had to go through these things. You had to understand that like a lot of the stuff that in the past that you did and you wasn't sure of doing and stuff. Those are just mistakes or whatever that you committed. It's like you had to learn your lessons from that. But other than that, how better does it, like what do you take it? You could of course
Mm.
learn your lesson, but it's like besides that, like, can you take it a step further and maybe help someone else, like avoid them from making that mistake? Because
Yeah.
in that sense, you're not only passing it down, but you also trying to like, trying to like not they say like I think it's in Spanish, they're like so you don't tú no trompiezas en la misma piedra que yo
Mm.
trompecé. So like you don't step like you
Yeah.
don't step on the same pebble that I stepped on,
Yeah.
that I tripped on. So I'll let you know where the mistakes are and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I feel like it'll be more, if you could learn from a mistake and share, like just how we having the podcast, just like just how you're talking about that stuff, like how you were feeling, and how you sharing it. That's great, great in itself.
Mistakes are fucking wavy, bro. Mistakes, because
Mistakes,
how else you gonna figure out you did something wrong? You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to trip, you have to fall.
It's kind of
You feel
interesting.
me?
Mistake. It means you
Mm.
missed the takes. You just got to take another take.
So that's a good. Look at that. Nah, you talking that talk. That's that big talk
Yeah,
right
just
there.
is another take.
Yeah, man. I love breaking down words like that, man. I remember we
Yeah,
were talking about after the podcast with Frank. We were talking about certain, like I mentioned television.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's something that's very interesting, because there's not really something we think about. We just think like, oh, television. That's the word that I grew up hearing,
Yeah, of
and that's
course,
what
right?
it is. So that's what the word is to me. But like you're really, when you watch television, the TV is telling you this vision, is showing you this
Yeah.
vision, because it's something that you see. Like, what is a vision to you? Like, for me, a vision, like right now, I could be looking that way and I could see like the act that I want to do later or whatever it may be. Like
Yeah.
we have that. We also have that ability to intrinsically like be able to see what we want to do, or see
Of
things
course,
even
yeah,
before it
yeah.
happens. Even if it hasn't happened or may not happen, we could see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that's like physically there that you could actually see. So television is, I don't know.
So
It's an
accessible,
interesting thing.
So accessible, is we grew up that was part of our our childhood. Like everybody, how many people didn't grow up with that was a big
Yeah.
part of the childhood. Like
So,
where there was
some people
like
are kept away from TV
yeah
too.
that too, that in itself. Like some people, like when I was growing up,
That shit's powerful.
we only had like one TV, bro, and like eventually we got like two, and then we probably had like another one. But like I know at one point we only had like one TV, bro. Like we were struggling type shit. But we was good. Like we wasn't missing any meals and shit. But we definitely had one TV, and it was difficult to play Xbox. Because my
Yeah.
dad's trying to watch the news.
Everybody's trying to watch something different. I remember
Yeah, that shit was bad, bro.
my sister always wanted to watch these like teen shows, and I always found them shits corny. Even as a little kid, I'm like, what the hell? What are
Yeah,
we
yeah.
watching? And I just wanted to watch cartoons, because the cartoons were always fire. Whether
Yeah,
it be
yeah,
Cartoon
yeah.
Network, whether it be Nickelodeon, cartoons are always on point. But yeah, like she want to watch these these teen shows. So I used to be tired like there, and we only had that
Yeah.
one TV in the spot to like watch, so we had to share that. But we both had our times. My sister was sneaky. Tina, you were sneaky. Yeah, she would be like, oh. Like without me notice, we had days, right? So without me notice, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's my day today," and I'd be like, "All right, whatever." Like because she was older, so I'd just be like, "Whatever." But sometimes it'll be my day, and she would do that.
Yeah.
But I think I probably did that to her too. Like you know how
Yeah.
siblings are. Me and my sister were bad. Yo, we used
That's crazy.
we used to always argue, but it's crazy because our relationship is nothing like that now. Our relationship is just like straight up, just like it's all.
I feel like it's like that with a lot of siblings.
Yeah.
Like we growing up, it's, you look back, you could tell at least I could tell myself, like I could see how I was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Like I probably wasn't the the easiest person to get along with. Like
Fact.
everybody has their
Yeah.
temper or whatever.
We filter out
Yeah,
out
of
all the
course,
things we
yeah.
don't need over the year. Oh, I mean, hopefully, I
Yeah.
like for me at least, I could say that we
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
the things that we don't need, we let go of that dead weight, like we were
Yeah.
talking about the other day.
So yeah, so it's like I feel like we at least like if you're if you're in this a point in your life where like your understanding of like how things work, like like you have that kind of relationship with a sibling where like
That's
you
true.
guys like whether you guys had like a tough relationship growing up, you guys will be good like in the future. But it goes the other way too. Like there's also siblings that they don't get along, and there's a lot of family kind of like tension in a lot of families and stuff. Which
Shout
not
out
really
to
good,
family, man. Big shout out to family. Shout out to
family
my
is
family.
big, yo.
Shout out to
Family
Louis'
is big.
family. I love all of y'all. Straight up.
Love all of you guys,
Type
man.
shit. Yeah,
You guys
fucking
cook
lit.
great.
But
Some
yo,
good stuff.
I feel like right now is a time because your boy is cooked. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I
Come on,
think
it's early, man. It's only 12:51.
yeah, I think now's the time to get into the last segment of the show, man.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
even know.
see.
I didn't even start, man, because I'm
I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you
running out
anyway.
of ideas.
Maybe nah, it's not even an idea. It's just how you feel. So, if you were to
Mm,
give a piece of advice to the viewer that's watching this right now,
yeah.
just right now in this moment, however you feel like people may be feeling in the world, you know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like, how are people, let's say in Colombia or in a different country, like, what advice would you give them? To get them through. At the end of the day, like the world's going through a shift right now. It's going through a tough time. But what advice would you give somebody watching this right now?
Uh, damn, that's a tough one, but because I feel like a lot of people will say like this is like people might say like, oh yeah, of course you're gonna say that, like you're in this position, or you living here, or you got this type of life, because like it's all what we see through the lens and stuff like that, especially now with social media and all of that. But it's like, not to sound like corny, but it's like, it's like to, yeah, like we were talking about, like just like dig deeper, like there's more to than just like what you're being fed and stuff like that. And it's not just in all, like we talked in all the podcasts, like what is it, what's the word, conspiracies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not just that, or it's not just like, the food, how we started talking about in this podcast. It's not just about the food and health and all of that, but it also goes deeper, like just like what haven't we been taught about ourselves, about our bodies, like how powerful we
Mm,
are and stuff like that, how powerful our mind is. And it's like
yeah.
how reinforcing your mind is too. Because it's like, if you're always looking at it on the negative side of things, like, guess what? That's what you're gonna get. Like, that's what you're picturing in your mind, and you're telling yourself that's exactly what you're gonna get. And it's like, just make sure you to learn about yourself and be in tune, for
That's
the
a great
reasons
one.
that you gotta understand. Like, we are going through a lot, but it's like, if you look at it on a positive note, like there's a lot of stuff that's happening that's also changing for the better.
That's a great one. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that a lot.
thank you, man. Appreciate it. How about you? What you talking
Um,
about? What you thinking about?
what popped in my head while you were speaking was this: focus on you. That's the piece of advice I will give you,
Fire.
the viewer, and the reason why I'll get into that. So when you focus on you, you put aside distractions that may distract you from figuring things out about yourself, figuring
Mm,
things out about what's going on around you, and is paying attention, paying extra attention. So pay attention to how you feel. Really focus on you and how you react to things. For example, I'll give you an example from me. This past weekend, it wasn't peaches and Candyland. It wasn't none of that for me. I went through so much this past weekend. We spoke a little bit about it when we linked up this weekend. Like it was a very intense weekend for me in terms of communication with people, not people, all different types of people that I
yeah,
had
just
communication
different
with,
type of, yeah.
communication with relationships, like with my girlfriend and stuff like that. It was a lot to like take in all at once. But I feel like through focusing on like how I really feel, focusing on my emotions, and also even focusing, being selfless and focusing on another person is also a great thing. But when you focus on yourself, you're able to do that, because if you just focus on all these other shit, then you might not even catch the point of what's going on. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like I was able to really hone in on how I feel, and in turn be able to be receptive of how the other person felt, so that we were able to have an even better communication, even when communication is tougher and rougher to
Yeah, yeah,
have.
yeah.
For me to be able to focus on how I'm really feeling, instead of having my
Yeah.
mind on all these places where, sometimes you might be having a conversation or argument, and things start going south, and you're just like, yo, fuck that. You kind of give
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
You
yeah.
like, you tell a person fuck you, and you just tell the whole situation fuck you. Like, that's the easy way
Yeah,
out.
of course.
That's
Yeah.
not focusing on you, because you're focusing on yourself. You try to figure out why you even got there, and like how to get out of that, and how to, not even how to get out of it, how to deal with it, and how to make a solution.
Yeah.
So that's my piece of advice: focus on you, because when you focus on you, um I just feel like nothing but good things can happen. And
Yeah.
I'm also not saying
That's true,
only
though.
focus on you, because there's a difference between only focus on you and focus on you. Focus on yourself, because then you'll be able to,
Yeah, but
handle everything around you.
like how you saying, like when you say focus on you, that doesn't necessarily mean like it's not selfish. But it's in a sense like
You could only really focus on you because
Yeah.
you have to focus in yourself because you're in yourself.
Yeah, like before you react to a situation, whether it's like like for example, like with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, like before you react to a situation, like think first, like why you feel like reacting in that
Exactly.
specific way, and it's like it's rooted within something that
Something that's
might be
going
like
on
a
with you.
fear or something that's been going on, trauma, and it's like from there on, kind of try to see like why you feel that way, why you felt like
Yeah, take that moment to yourself.
yeah, and it's like from there on, you'll be able to understand the situation better, kind of like see the situation from a other like set of eyes, kind of like step away from it and kind of like find a solution around it instead of just
Fact.
just
Man,
like throwing stuff at each other and not getting a solution.
Yeah, like sometimes like there's really no point in a back and forth if it's not gonna be productive. And that for me, anything I do, I want it to be productive, and that's part of focusing on myself as well.
Fact.
Yeah, that's
Big fact.
that's
good
my
way to
piece
end.
of advice. Big Talk, episode 9. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's fucking lit. Let's get it. Love you guys. Thank you for watching.
Good night, guys. Have a good one. Tell this guy to get some rest.
My dog.